Supposed to be anywhere?
That was supposed to be in there for the bit, but we started this bit last week where Amy's just like mixing it.
That's my bit.
Yeah, that's Amy's bit. On top some shit. So yeah, is there anything you don't want to talk about, or anything you want to get into?
No.
Fine. Go ahead.
Oh, that was a good one.
Do one more time.
That was really cool.
Alright guys, well welcome to the Two Guys, One Guest podcast. And today we have Grace Alarcon. Did I say that right?
Alarcon.
Alarcon,
Yes.
sorry, I'm white, I can't.
No.
I thought you said a la carte.
Grace a la carte. So yeah, Grace, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, so hi, I'm Grace. Should I look at the camera? Or?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm Grace. But I used to be an exotic dancer, or strip, if you will. I did that for about a year or so. So that's
Cool.
what I'm here to talk to you about.
Awesome. So what was it like?
It was an interesting experience for sure. Like, that's the kind of the best word you can use to describe it.
Experience? Or interesting?
Interesting.
Sorry. Right.
Yeah,
Right.
like, yeah, it's a
Even
combo.
better way.
But it's just because, like, there's a lot of high points about it, like, good points, and there's a lot of not so good points in it. So you kind of have, like, the good and the bad with it, and you kind of have to figure out whether or not the bad overweighs the good when you're deciding or whether or not you want to be a dancer. So, like, when you're figuring out who, like, you know, who you are in the club and, like, who you are as, like, a dancer and, like, how you interact with the customers and, like, just getting a feel for everything. Like, you just have to figure that out.
Does it take a while to kind of understand?
Yeah, like, so the first few times, like, you go into a club, like, you don't know what to expect, really, because I didn't. Like, I was like, I don't know anyone that danced to be like, hey, what do I do? So I just kind of walked into a club that was recommended to me by somebody else, and so I was like, okay. And
to like check out or to like try to work out?
To try and work out. Like, I was like trying to be a dancer. I made the decision. I was like, I'm gonna try and dance. So here we go.
Crazy.
Yeah. So I walked into the club, and again, I was a little bit heavier at the time, and so immediately he was like, so I need you to audition. So they bring you over into, like, so they'll tell you, because they have cameras everywhere, they're not going to bring you anywhere. They're going to tell you to go get changed and then tell you where to go, and they're going to watch you on the big cameras and then tell you how you did at the end. So...
Oh, weird.
Yeah, so, and then the one that I danced at had two sides, so all the auditions took place on, like, the one side that was closed during the day. So he sent me over there. He sent me to go get changed. I didn't have any of the proper attire. I was using, like, basic, like, regular underwear like a bralette and some heels that I wore to a wedding at one point. Like,
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no, I did not have any of the proper attire. Yeah. And so I was just like, fuck it. Like, we're going to do this. Like, confidence and all. Cool. So I got my ass up on that stage. And
Literally?
Yes, literally. And for your auditions, so they're going to tell you, like, because some clubs are only topless and some are fully nude, and the one that I auditioned at happened to be both. So, like I was saying, it had two sides. One was topless and one was fully nude. Because I was 18, when you're 18, you have to dance on the fully nude side because it doesn't serve alcohol and, you know, certain regulations. So that's the side they had me audition on, and so they told me I had to get fully nude for the audition, and I had to dance for 2 songs up on the stage, and
like back to back?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they would play 2 songs on the speakers, and you just had to dance on the stage to that dance, basically.
And you're just by yourself with people.
Yeah, you're by yourself.
Is it like patrons or is it like
No? So that side of the club is closed during the day, the fully nude side, and only the topless side is open during the day. I don't know why that ever was, but I think it's because it costs more to operate both sides. Like, they were only making enough revenue to operate one side during the day, and then they brought in enough revenue to make both sides at night.
Yeah.
But and then, like, no one's in there with you. Like, they tell you, again, to go get changed and then go into this stage. And no one's watching you because they're all sitting in their office watching you on these big cameras. Like,
that's crazy.
There's probably, like, 25 to 30 cameras throughout the club. Like, whether they're in the dressing rooms, they're on every stage, they're in every corner of the club. Like, they're in the VIP lounges. The owners and the bouncers can literally see anything that you're doing at any point. Like, it's
crazy.
Yeah, because they have to watch you for, like, again, safety purposes, making sure you're not fighting with other dancers in the dressing room, because those girls get catty. Like, I wasn't one of them, but some of them just they're bitches. Like, like, that's the best way to put it. But yeah, it was scary. Like, honestly, and after I was done, I walked into his office after I changed back into my regular clothes, and he was like, listen, like, you're a little too overweight to work night shift. That's what he told me. He said I was too big to work nights. He said I could start days and try to lose weight and do that, and if I got the proper attire and lost the weight that I needed, he would let me work nights, because nights was what you needed. Like, nights were the shifts that you wanted to work, because that's where you made your money. Yeah, because no one goes, like, there's no one at a strip club during the day. Like, I don't know anyone that's like, Monday, strip club. Like, so.
Lunch break.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, that's all it was dudes,
really?
Construction workers and businessmen and, like, dudes that were at home during the day while their wives were at work. They came into the strip club during the day shift.
Did they tell you a lot about themselves?
Yeah, so if you ask a client, like, most of the time they're bullshit lies. Like, these dudes will hype themselves up like they're millionaires. Like,
I was just sitting on my couch of money.
All of them. Like,
I thought to myself.
That's what they say. That's what it sounds like. Like, I had a guy come in, and I knew he was a cop. Like, he was a cop that came in on his lunch breaks, and
wow, that's crazy.
It was crazy. And so he came in, but he hyped himself up in this club. All these girls thought that he was this millionaire who took these business trips to places like Hawaii, and he was like a sugar daddy and all that, and he had money, because every time he came in, he was spending his entire paycheck
Holy shit,
on these girls.
That's nuts.
Yeah, like, and
wow.
So that's what he was putting on this front, but I had found out that that's, like, who he was based off of, like, seeing him outside the club. Like, I saw him in person doing something in real life.
Whoa, that's crazy.
Yeah, and no, because
one way?
Yeah, it was just one way. I would try like, if anytime you see a client outside, like, or like a customer outside of the club, you're like, nope, like, look the other way, because that's like funny. You don't want them to approach you. Like, that's like anyone's biggest fear. You're like, please don't come talk to me.
Yeah, that sounds crazy.
Yeah. But
that's nuts.
Yeah, it was crazy that like just like the stigma, like that hit. So it's like that at all clubs. So it took me a while to find a club that would actually hire me with the weight that I was at the time.
Okay.
I probably weighed like 185 pounds at the time when I started auditioning. But I didn't look bad, you know? Like, I still was confident in myself and what I looked like. But these clubs, like, almost all these clubs I went to wouldn't even audition me. They would just look at me and be like, you're too big to work here, or you have too many tattoos.
So you're just, like, super blunt about it?
Yeah, they're all super honest. Like, they'll tell you, like, you're too fat to work here. Like, because I walked in with my friend at the time, and they were like, we can hire her because she's thin, and, like, you know, but we cannot hire you. And that's what they would tell me. Yeah. Wow. It was an interesting, like, that, again, that's the interesting experience part. But once you get into your groove and, like, actually realize that it's something that you enjoy doing, and, like, you can realize, like, is this is worth it, or it's not worth it, or whatever it may be. But I don't know, I think there's a big thing, like, it's just dancing. A lot of girls are like, I can't dance, like, I could never be a stripper. And it's like, honestly, you don't spend almost any time on the pole, because what'll happen is when you go in for a shift, you get put, if it's night shift, you get put on rotation almost immediately, because when it's busy, the club will do song rotations, and they put you on a list with all the dancers that check in for the night, and then you'll hear on the overhead, like, okay, next up on the stage is this girl, and she knows that she's up next because that's the order it's been for the last 6 hours. So just
resets?
Yeah, yeah, at the end of the list, if rotation is still going because the club is still busy, it'll just reset. And if more girls come in, they'll just add the girls to the list.
Oh, crazy.
And for every rotation, every club is 2 songs. Like, you have to take your top off at least and, show your boobs and stuff like that. But it's, again, at 2 songs every rotation. So every time your name is called up onto the stage, you dance 2 songs and that's it. And then you get off and the next person goes. But again, that's, like, not a lot of your time, because if you're working like day shifts, or even if the club is not busy at night, they won't do rotation, so you're waiting on customers to come in to the club, and so you can walk up to them and try and talk to them. Like, you almost have to sell. It doesn't sound bad. You have to sell yourself to them. Like, you're sitting, like, you're like, can I sit here next to you? And you have to kind of, like, make it like you're flirting with them and give them, like, an attention like you would if you were hitting on them at a bar.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So, like, a girl will approach you and be like, can I sit here next to you? Is that okay? Like, I love your hair. And, she'll touch him and be, like, all flirtatious. And then once she feels as though she's developed, like, a rapport or a connection with this client or the customer, she'll be like, well, can I dance for you? And then he'll be like, yes, no, whatever it may be. So, and then you'll basically dance. If you know what you're doing, you'll collect your money at least, if not every song or every 2 songs, because you'll learn quick that guys will take the free dances if they can get them, because if you're not collecting their money at the end of the dance, they're not gonna, they won't pay you. Yeah.
Wow.
So
that's crazy.
Like I lost money when I first started doing it, because like a dude just wouldn't pay me because I had danced for him for a certain amount of time, and you get paid per song and per where you're dancing.
You said where you're dancing?
Yes. Okay. So they have floor dances and VIP dances usually. So the floor dances are always less expensive. They're going to range anywhere from like 10 to 15 usually on a normal club. At the one I was working at, they were $5 because, again, I don't think this club brought in a whole lot of revenue.
Wow, that's crazy, dude.
But the floor dances were $5 and the VIP dances were $20, and it was like a really big jump. But at most clubs it's not. Again, it's mostly 10 to 15 and then 20 to 25 for the VIP. But and so if you were and then again it's per song. So if you're doing there, it's if VIP is $25 per song, so you're getting paid more than it's compared to if you're on the floor. So if you're on the floor dancing for a dude, and you dance for him for like 3 songs, and you can tell that he's still interested and still paying, you can be like, well, can I take you to VIP? And just offer
upsell.
Upsell yourself. Exactly. So it's just all.
Can I get you the large for an extra?
Yeah, exactly. It's like all just upselling, trying to make the most of what you can, like trying to make the most money.
So if somebody doesn't want to pay for their dance, can you just like talk to management, or how does that work?
So if someone doesn't want to pay for their dances, you can talk to a bouncer or management, and they'll ask the person to pay, and they'll try and get them to pay. But ultimately, if that person doesn't, all they can do is throw them out of the club. So if they can't get the money out of the dude by just simply like talking to him and being like, yo man, you need to pay her, if he's like, no, like fuck you, then they can't really do much. Crazy. Like, because, and
that sucks.
Yeah.
Shit.
But like,
do you ever have to do that?
No, like, it wasn't ever that big of a deal, like, because whenever, like I said, when it first happened to me, it was, like, $20, so I was like, I don't really care, I can just let it go, but really, like, in the beginning, like, or even just in the game in general, like, you're spending money to make money. That's all stripping is, like, you're spending money.
Yeah, you pay for it when you walk in, right?
Yeah, because so you're tipping out the house, you're tipping out your managers, you're tipping out the bouncers, and the DJ.
That's crazy. Is there like a specific amount every night? Or? So
it depends on the night you're working, like the hours you're working, and different. Like, so if you're working day shift, it's cheaper to work during the day. So if you go in and you work for a club, and let's say they open at 11 a.m. and you get there right at 11, sometimes they won't even make you pay a house fee because you got there so early. And so... like they'll
Can you stay there like from 11 a.m. to like? So
there's
2?
certain hours that are morning and day shifts. So morning shift is from 11 to 6 usually, if the club opens at 11, and then night shift starts at 6 usually is the cutoff. So you have to tell either management or the DJ that you're going to work night shift if you're going to stay, because that means they have to put you on the list that you have to pay that night shift fee. Okay. Even if you already paid morning shift, because like night shift house fees can be like $75 to $85 after tip out.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and I know like there is one club that someone danced at that I knew, and they paid her hourly, but her tip out at the end of the night was like $200.
Oh shit!
So she had to make money to just be able to pay all this club.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. So is it really like I mean, with all that stuff into account, is it personal if it's like worth you working there, or is it generally pretty like lucrative, I guess?
What do you mean? Like,
are you generally able to make that money back and like more?
Yeah, so usually if you're working your ass off, like if you're not being lazy, because you have to work, like you're selling, like that's what you're doing. So you have to work and you have to get to the dudes that are coming in the door first, if you're working day shift at least. Because again, day shift is super slow, so you have to take every opportunity the moment it comes in that door.
So what happens if there's like 5 girls and like 2 dudes walk in for the day? It's just like,
it's basically first come, first serve. So
really?
2 dudes walk in, and whoever gets to them first gets to them first. But
is it only 1v1?
Huh?
Is it only like 1v1? Like 2 girls can't bombard 1 guy?
They can if they decide to. So if the 2 girls team up together and they're like, we're gonna go try and dance with this guy together, he'll have to pay per girl per song.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So so it doubles basically.
She can't like split it.
Like she could if she wanted to, but that's typically what they'll do is they'll make you pay like
for
both.
each.
Yeah, because that's fair.
So you got
Yeah, and so but sometimes it does happen, like if they know a regular has money on that day, because like they'll notice when regulars come in, they'll notice when the regulars get paid, they'll notice when the regulars like aren't seeing their wives for that week, like they know.
Whoa, crazy.
Strippers,
yeah.
Strippers know a lot about people's like insight, because we're looking for the money, we want to know when we can get it, when it's like, best time to go work, because we don't want to go to work if we're not going to make that money back and we're just going to have to pay the club, so we're going to go on the days that we know our regulars are going to come in, we're going to go on the days that we know it's going to be busy, but it's also like you can text your friends if they're already there, like if you have a girl that who's already there at the club, you can be like, how many girls are there right now? And if she's like 20 girls are here right now and there's nobody at the club, you're like, okay, then I'm not coming in, so.
How many girls are you technically employed at the place? Because let's say, how many girls go to like several different places depending upon...
It's kind of shady, so that's a good question. So the stripping business is very shady. Very rarely will clubs have you, like they'll tell you, come in and fill out paperwork. They never have you fill out paperwork.
Like when you get hired?
It's a completely under the books thing. Like it is very sketch.
Crazy.
You're never on like any sort of payroll. You're never on like any sort of books. Like there's no record that I ever worked there.
Wow, that's crazy.
So the
How do you
only
do your taxes?
Huh?
How do you do your taxes?
Basically, I had to keep track of it on my own. I have to keep track of the cash that comes in and how much I have to put on there and stuff like that.
Holy shit, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I wonder how often, or you want to know how often, like a girl will do that like as a night job or whatever, and then not claim any of that for taxes, and then only.
So a lot of the time, the girls that are working there, the girls that work it as a second job or like that do it separately will almost never claim it on their taxes, because why would they? They have another job.
There's no record or anything.
But,
wow, that's crazy.
But then the girls that are working there as full time and aren't claiming it on their taxes, most of the time they're not that smart, because it's like the IRS will come for them, because the IRS is going to be like, where's all this money coming from
that you're spending?
And again, not all strippers are the brightest, so like they don't take those types of things into account. So I saw a lot of that going on, where like these girls are getting like thousands of dollars and just blowing it, and like they're not keeping track of it whatsoever. And
do you ever see someone get busted then?
I've never seen anyone get busted like at the club. I wish I kind of did, because it would have been fun to watch. Been like, you didn't pay your taxes.
That's crazy. Did you work at a lot of different clubs, or how many places did you work at?
I think so. I worked for 2 total, and then I auditioned for a bunch, and a few of them hired me, and I was like, okay, I'll come back, and I never went back, because I just either didn't like the feel of the club, or I didn't like the feel of the other girls, or whatever it might have been.
Is it different everywhere, where like, do they have schedules, like they're like, okay, you get to come in on this day, or?
There's only one club that I know that has a schedule, and they pay their girls hourly as well.
Really?
Yeah, and that's Jaguars, I believe. So that's the only club I know that does that.
So would it kind of be like a waitress kind of like pay model, like where it's like you?
I'm assuming, but I wouldn't know how their pay is working with all the tip money they're getting, because like I don't know how they would figure that out.
Like
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Oh, that's crazy.
But with that, it's like, sorry, what were we saying? Tip money.
Different places, different hours.
Yeah, so most of the time they'll tell you can come in whenever you want. You have to pick a shift, day or night shift, and then if you're gonna work both, you have to pay for both.
Oh, really? Crazy.
Yeah. So that's what they'll tell you. Like, you can come in whenever, so it's like, if I'm coming in during day shift hours, I have to come in and leave at 6. So it's like, if I go in at 4, I only have 2 hours to dance. If I'm not gonna work
Dude,
at night.
that sucks. That's
So
you'd have to pay for both if you wanted to.
yeah, exactly.
So you said they made you start in the day shift.
Mm-hmm.
How long did you have to do that before you could go to nights?
So I never went to nights at that club because I got tired of them telling me no. I was like, listen, all these other girls who are either bigger than me or, whatever, they just come in and do it. No one ever says anything. And I'm tired of the only one getting in trouble because, like, if I wanted to come in and work at night, they would tell me no. But it's like, there are girls who are bigger than me, like, working here. And
wasn't it an age thing too, you said, though? Or no?
yeah, it was, but it's like they didn't care. Like I said, those clubs are really sketchy. So, like I said that, but it's like they really didn't care. A lot of the girls were underage. A lot of them were drinking underage. Like, all these clubs, like, in Phoenix could, for real, just get busted. Like, if a cop walked into any of them, all these girls are underage. Almost half of them don't have their dancing license, or at least it's expired, or they lost it. Yeah, you have to go to downtown to the municipal court, and you have to get an exotic dancer's license.
Yeah, what does that like prove, or what is it?
It has your picture on it, and it has your name, and then your dancer name, and when you got the ID, and when it expires. So, and then you have to renew it if you keep dancing.
How much does that cost?
$25.
Oh,
I bet it exists only so they can find people like trying to dodge taxes.
Yeah, exactly.
That's crazy.
Because it's like when I did it, I wouldn't say that because I didn't really claim anything on my taxes just because I didn't make enough money.
Or she did. I mean, who knows?
Who knows? I might have.
Maybe she did it all. Don't check.
Don't check. A little FBI man. It's fine.
We do have an FBI fan.
But that's true. If you don't make enough, you don't have to.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I didn't make enough to have to claim anything. So I was like, because
I think it's like $10,000, a little under.
Ooh.
Yeah, you have to be doing it. It's like a full-time job. Like, you have to be making.
Like hustling.
Yeah, hustling money basically.
So then it could be a good side thing then.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have to claim. Like,
crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Carefree, you wouldn't have to. So.
Mm-hmm.
Would you recommend people try it?
Yeah, I actually tell girls all the time that have low confidence or that are, trying to figure out who they are to try it. Because I figured out who I was as a person, and I gained a lot of confidence. Like,
that's cool.
Stripping made me so fucking confident. It put me on the border of being cocky almost. Because I was like, people are paying to see me shake my ass, like, hell yeah. And so
that's crazy, dude. That's cool.
Yeah, and so I now it's like,
did you have a lot? Did you struggle with that beforehand?
Yeah, I definitely did. Like, that's why I was so nervous to really get into it. I was like, I'm not cute. Like, I really struggled with body image and like myself and just feeling pretty and confident. And now it's like I'm the most confident bitch I know. So
that's
it's like,
cool.
but
that's nice.
Yeah, I tell all these girls, I'm like, if you want to gain confidence and just figure out who you are, like, try it. Because it's an experience. Like, it's definitely, like, a learning experience into adulthood. Like, it'll slap you in the face because you just see so much fucking shit happen in a strip club. Like, it's crazy. Like,
that's crazy. You
see girls, like, drinking. Like, so one time there was a girl who, she had a regular who would come in, and they had like a BDSM agreement type of thing where he was allowed to do specific things to her. A BDSM type of agreement. So he was allowed to do specific things to her first, like on a specific amount that they agreed upon separately.
In the strip club?
Yes.
So you were with that too?
Yeah, like, so it wasn't like sex. It was just like certain like choking or hair pulling or like things that would come off as aggressive. Yeah.
So like you would walk in and she'd be like, "Hey, what's up?"
Yeah.
She did it to him or he did it to her?
Both. And so
that's
like insane. So he would
like imagine being at a crowd and you just see somebody like
that's like, a lot of trust.
And
that's crazy.
And like guys have like paid me to like step on them with my heels.
All right, we'll see you guys next time.
Guys have like paid me to like, not me in particular. Guys I've seen guys pay girls to put cigarettes out on them.
Whoa,
it's crazy. Yeah, they're like.
That's cool.
But with that girl who did that, like she I saw her pass out because she was giving this client a lap dance and he choked her too hard to the point where she passed out while she was dancing.
Holy shit!
And she said she woke up on the floor in the club because no one no one came in to check on her. They just let her chill there.
Jesus
and
Christ.
I wasn't working that day. Like she told me that story the next day, and I was like,
what about security?
Security came over. They watched on the big camera
everybody else. They're Snapchatting.
But no, they helped her up and stuff eventually once they realized what was going on. But it's
he's been down there for too long.
But the guy freaked out. He freaked out and left.
Really?
Yeah, and
he killed her.
Yeah, and he came back. He came back the next day to see if she was still there, and she was alive. And he apologized to her, and the customer was just crying.
Holy shit!
And he was like, "I thought I killed you," and he was like, "I'm so sorry."
Yeah, piece of shit. He should have fucking made sure he was.
He ran away. Yeah, no, that's what I was saying. But I was like,
crazy.
It's
not again.
So is he banned or what?
No, he came back. That club did not give a fuck.
They just want their money.
Yeah, they just wanted money.
Also, it was agreed upon, right?
Yeah, but it was when that happens, he should not be able to come back. They should have taken that business elsewhere.
That probably shouldn't have been able to happen to be.
No, it definitely shouldn't because the whole thing.
Allowed?
The whole thing with strippers is that you're not allowed to touch them, and so when bouncers see guys touching you, they're supposed to come over there and be like, "No, do not touch them."
Yeah.
Day shift bouncers and day shift club managers don't give a fuck. They only.
Or maybe they do. Don't try it.
No.
Advertising. You don't say. Honey, what's my big work?
Want to go to the club? No, but
let's see.
But they just it's so
That
crazy.
sucks.
Just they only care about their night girls. That's the only girls that they'll protect. They'll offer to walk night girls out to their car. They won't do that for us. They're for the day girls.
Yeah.
But it was crazy, just the amount. And another time I saw a girl. She was just, a hooker as well, she was a prostitute, and her pimp came in and was dancing with another stripper, and she came over and started beating the shit out of that other stripper because she was dancing on her pimp.
Oh shit! Dude.
Yeah, and I was it was just so freaking wild, dude. Everything that you experience in a club, you're just what did I just watch?
It's you're living in a world star.
Yeah, no, you really are. Everything you see, because
a world star today.
A fight broke out at one point, and a dude slammed his head into this long glass mirror that we had, and it shattered the entire mirror. It was
That's nuts,
the amount of stuff that you see is just wild. And so that's why I tell people, go do it. It's an experience. It'll teach you stuff. It'll teach you how to do
all the drama and stuff that you see. Is it you never got involved with it? You kind of have to push yourself into it.
Yeah, because if you know what you're doing, when I went in there, I told myself, because these girls are not the best most of the time. You're okay, so not
setting their own boundaries and shit.
Yeah, so it's I was when I went into it, I was I'm not going to get involved in any hard drugs. I'm not going to get involved in anything because that I knew I'm just there to dance and make my fucking money and be a badass bitch, and that was it. And so anytime I saw that, I literally just think of it, I'm you guys are throwing your lives away because they can literally take that money that they're making because they make bank. I'm telling you, these dancers make bank. It's not a joke. It's not a lie. If you want money, go fucking hop on a pole because that's how you get it. But they could take this money and go to school. They could get a car. They could do all this shit. But instead they're buying weed, buying coke, paying their pimp. Why are you doing this? Well, yeah, because that's what they do. Because a lot of the girls some of the girls that I worked with, they were homeless. And so they had this pimp because the pimp gave them a place to live and food and, a place to sleep that wasn't freezing at night. And so they gave the pimp all the money that they would make during the day for all that stuff. And for him to spoil them every once in a while with a nice purse or something like that.
Damn,
yeah,
that's crazy.
They could just have all the money themselves.
Exactly. When if they just never got into that in the first place, or and again, some of the time it's a situation that they you know, again, sometimes I'm like, sometimes these girls have situations that they couldn't have avoided or that, like, life kind of hit them in the face with to where they ended up in that position. And so sometimes I'm not one to judge any of those girls that, like, you know, I do because I'm like, you're throwing your life away. But it's like at the same time, I'm like,
but in a helpful way, right? It's not
it's like I would love to help these girls. That's what I'm saying. Like, if I could, I would give them all a TED talk and be like, here's how you do your taxes, and here's how you do these things. Yeah, I do. Honestly, I could have just grabbed a mic and be like, hello.
Taking a cut the mic.
You have to want the help.
My dancer name was Ivy, and so
Ivy?
and so I could have been like,
is that allowed?
Yeah, no. So I don't do
That's
that.
not allowed, but the choking is allowed.
I don't dance anymore, so it's like I don't care. I don't go by Ivy anymore.
Do you still have the like card?
I think so. It might be in my wallet somewhere, but I don't.
Cool.
Yeah. But it's just I had blue hair at the time and like all this stuff, and I looked a lot different, so I don't think anyone would know anyway. So, but it's like. I don't know. I was like, my name's Ivy, and thank you for coming to my TED Talk. How to get your life together. Thank you.
Ladies.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you also see a lot of naked girls. I swear to God, all these strippers are a little bit gay. We're all a little bit gay. Because I swear to God, you never get tired of seeing ass and titties. You're like, it's always beautiful. You're like, wow. And so it's all just a bunch. That's another thing that builds confidence because these girls are catty, but at the same time they build you up because they want you to make money too. So it's like,
oh really? It's not like competitive.
So it can be when it's slow if you're working at a slow club, but it's like if it's busy enough where everyone's making their own money and doing their own thing, they'll hype you up. They'll be like, "Go get it, girl!"
That's cool.
A lot of them when you first start, they'll teach you how to do tricks on the pole. They'll teach you how to do stuff you don't know how to do. And they'll introduce you to just kind of everything. They'll just be like, that guy's a regular. You can go get money from him really quick. Because they know, they'll get their money from that same guy the next day if I get it today,
Wow. That's
so,
crazy.
A lot of the girls can be nice, and they always are hyping you up. You could be, so self-conscious and be like, no, girl, you're hot as fuck, and these dudes are paying you for that fucking ass. That's so
nice.
Yeah.
Damn, that's cool, dude.
What made you get into it?
Money.
Curious, or
well, yeah, I kind of
tell you about it. Or?
Well, my sister actually did it for a while. She did it when she was there's a big age gap, so I never knew my sister as a dancer. I just knew stories from when I got older, and she told me. And she said that she really loved it. She loved to dance, and I was like, I love to dance, and I needed some money on the side because I was going through a hardship, and so I was like, I'll start dancing, making some extra money, start being able to get that extra income. And so that's kind of what I did. And then eventually, once I made some decent money, I went and got proper shoes, proper outfits, and that's how the more, again, spending money to make money, the more you put into it, the more you're going to get back out of it. The cuter you look in these outfits and the more money you spend on the stuff that you're wearing, the shoes that you have on, the more that these guys are going to pay for you, because you're worth it.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So were you ever getting your hair done before that, or how far does?
So it's I didn't really care. Again, I had blue hair, so I just left it blue, and I would curl it. So a lot of time the club doesn't want you to come in not ready. They want you to come in ready and use the dressing room just to get changed, and that's it. But a lot of time I would go in there and do my makeup in the club because I preferred to the lighting. But they don't like that because it wastes time. And they're like, you could be out here making us money and dancing, but instead you're in here doing your makeup. So, they want you to do your makeup at home and do your hair at home and just come in ready.
Huh.
And so...
So, but do they only make money off you guys, at the beginning of the night, or... Well, at the end of the night, too, you said tip out, right?
So they make money throughout the day because there's always tip out for everything. It's just whether or not how expensive it is because it goes up and down throughout the day.
Okay.
It goes up throughout the day. So the later it gets, the more tip out is. But they're making money per se because the liquid is the cuter the girls are, or the more dancers are on the floor, the more guys are going to come in because these guys want to see girls. They don't want to walk into an empty club.
Right.
And the guys that are coming in at 11 a.m. they're like, where are all these girls? Because there's only one girl on the stage and no one's here.
Yeah.
Because no strippers wake up at 11 a.m. But
that's crazy, dude. Wow.
It is.
So join us next week where me and Colin will be going to. No, we're not gonna do that. But that's crazy, dude. I actually have some questions here from some viewers or people on Instagram because we're not there. But we will. My mom didn't say anything. So, what was the best lesson you learned from the experience?
The best lesson I learned was probably just like setting boundaries. Setting boundaries is something I was not good at. And
In life and stripping, or just
both.
Yeah.
And so like stripping teaches you how to set boundaries because your attitude in the club is basically like, you're coming into my domain. This is my club, and I'm dancing for you.
Cool.
You know, so it's
Yeah.
like I'm in control of what's going on, and I have to set the boundaries. So if a guy's doing something that I don't like, or he's trying to touch me, or like whatever's going on, I'd be like, I'll stop. I'll stand up and be like, if you would like me to keep dancing, you need to stop. And I think that's a good lesson to have just in real life as well, because I feel like
Yeah,
nowadays
that's
a lot of females are just very timid and afraid to like stand up for themselves,
Yeah.
and like knowing
Anyone,
how to
really.
do that. Yeah,
Yeah,
anyone
no,
really.
I mean,
Just
I could
like
definitely see
me myself as a girl, I'm like I used to have that issue. Like I was afraid to like stand up for myself and just to be like no. But now it's like I can tell a dude like get the fuck away from me, and it's like
That's
I have
cool.
no problem. So
That's cool.
like. Yeah, I think that was just a good lesson to have, like
Yeah.
setting those good boundaries.
Do you think a lot of other girls kind of got that from stripping as well? Like some of the people that you talked to there?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
a lot of the girls like are like I want to say like all these girls that I met are bad bitches. Like that, like I none of them didn't make the best life decisions, but like I can swear on my life these girls were bad bitches. Like they
cool.
knew how to slap a bitch. They knew how to fucking like
Dude.
dude, they're just hard. Like they're like gangsters in
That's
the
cool.
strip world. Like it's it's a time.
That sounds like fun, yeah. So somebody wanted to ask about, did you see that video of that lady that fell from like that giant pole?
Oh yes.
Yeah, what do you think about that? Colin hasn't seen that. But
That's terrifying.
Yeah, it looks
I
fucking crazy.
would be
it
terrified.
must have been like I don't want to say two stories and sound like an idiot, but it looked super fucking
My
huge.
favorite meme that went along with that was like when you're dancing with a girl on the stage and you see a dude throw 100 and you're like, not today, bitch. Like she falls like so
Yeah.
fast to get it. I'm like,
It was
that.
insane. Dude.
Yeah, I was like, that's the best thing because it's so true. Like you see someone throw a big bill on the stage, you're like that.
Oh, how does that
fine.
work? Like if two people are dancing on the stage.
You'll split the money typically.
Don't know.
If like if you're dancing, if you decide to dance on the stage, like the main stage with the girl, you guys typically decide how you split the money like in between yourselves. You're like, if we're gonna dance together, we'll split it 50-50 or whatever.
What about like if somebody if money gets thrown around and you don't pick it up? Like what happens to that money?
Like if it's left on the floor on the stage.
Or if you just don't see it, you know what I mean? Like, I guess.
If I don't see it, then it's on me. Like, they
really?
tell you that you're responsible for all your money. Like, they tell
Wow.
you from the start, all the strippers and all the girls are responsible for all their own money, all their own clothes, all their own supplies. Like, because you have to leave, like, a bag of stuff in the dressing room. You're leaving, like, outfits in there. You're leaving makeup in
So you
there.
just like a gym bag or something?
Yeah, so I had like a gym bag that I would bring in, and it'd have all my stripper shit in it, and just like, and like it's funny
My
because
stripper
Is that the
bag.
technical term?
Yeah, my stripper shit.
Yeah.
like you have like a hygiene bag, and in your hygiene bag you have like baby wipes, dry deodorant, like the spray one. You have
Hand sanitizer?
hand sanitizer. You usually have a change of underwear. You have hairspray usually, Q-tips, makeup wipes. Usually just anything you would need to clean yourself up, honestly, because a lot, like, so dudes will get erections when you're dancing on them and then decide to jizz in their pants
Oh,
while you're on them.
We'll see you guys next week. Dude, that's crazy.
So, like,
How often does that happen?
pretty frequently. It's
God.
sad,
Seriously? Jesus,
sad to
that's so
say.
creepy.
No, yeah, it's awful.
You're sweating, though.
Like, there was a dude, and, like, I swear to God.
Dude, that's crazy.
I swear to God, I shit you not, this dude, he was a regular, and he had one girl that danced with him because she was the only one that would do it because he would have her dance on him until he came.
God.
Holy shit. She was the only one that would do it?
And so basically, what she
Wait,
would
did she
do...
get extra?
She's like, it's guaranteed money.
Well, she like played it basically because
Okay.
what she would do, she would go super slow and basically play it to where he wouldn't come for a bunch of songs.
Dude, that's crazy.
And like,
Holy shit.
That's so
so
smart.
she would like
That
try
is
and be like,
smart, yeah.
like stretch out her money, and I was like, that's so smart. Like,
Yeah.
you go, girl. Like,
Wow.
but it was disgusting. It never happened to me, thankfully. But I was in the dressing room, and a girl comes in, she's like, ah, and I was like, oh, what's going on? Like, because you know when a stripper screams, it's never good. So like, she comes running in, and she's like screaming.
Also, an angel gets its wings.
Yeah.
So a guy comes in his pants, stripper screams, angel gets his wings.
Something about it.
That's great. Wow.
The Holy Trinity.
The Holy Trinity.
Sorry, Mom.
But
She's the only one that watches. So.
oh no, I'm sorry too. But she
She don't speak English.
she
you're fine.
goes,
just kidding. I'm sorry. Yes, I'm joking. I had Bailey's. There's Bailey's in here. Leave me alone.
He's like, I'm drunk. It's fine.
I'm gonna edit this and be like, oh, you're such an idiot.
But she was like, she comes in yelling. She's like, a guy just came on me, and I was like,
on me.
And I was like,
Christ.
a guy came on you, and she goes, yeah, he was wearing basketball shorts, and when I was facing the other way, he came on me, and now it's on my leg, and
Like
now I
he
gotta.
pulled it out and like came on her.
Sometimes it happens. Like,
Holy shit!
like
what?
if a girl is facing the opposite way and a guy thinks he can get his dick out and do that, he will. He'll take the opportunity.
That's so fucking weird.
Yeah, and that's
It's
another
very
thing
weird.
with like the setting boundaries, because you have to, if like you're dancing on a dude and you notice he's about to take his dick, you have to stand and be like, you put your fucking dick away. Or like, that's
Holy
not
shit,
allowed, that's
dude.
not what's going on. Like, I'm not in. Like, you only give them one chance, and if they try and do it again, you're done, bro. Like, that's
so
it. Like,
fucking weird.
Dude, that's insane. He came on me.
Whenever I hear weird shit, like there's like 8 billion of the people in the world. It's gotta happen.
Yeah, multiple
8
times.
billion people.
Yeah, that's crazy, dude.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So what happened to that guy? Did they kick him out?
Yeah.
he just, usually they don't care. He just
They
leaves.
gave him a drink?
If they- if
they
They get off and then they leave, or they'll go to the bathroom and clean themselves up and then come back
For the
out
next
and do
one?
the same thing with another girl.
Jeez.
Yeah, but the dancers will blacklist them, because like if one girl gets come on her, she'll come in and be like, that guy's coming on
Holy
everybody,
shit.
and they'll be like, don't dance for him. And
Holy
so
shit.
like, yeah, like you'll get blacklisted by all the strippers if you come
Dude,
on
that's
them. Like,
crazy. Holy shit.
It's just so ridiculous to hear.
Yeah.
It's like that's so much place of work. The guy fucking come on.
Yeah.
I got dust on me at work.
yeah, like I would
Yeah,
come
there was a
home
spider or
and
something.
my boyfriend would be like, how was work? I'd be like, I gotta fucking come on me, god damn it. Like, God. Had to clean myself, had to change my outfit in the middle of my shift.
I can't believe how many Q-tips I use on this cup. That's insane, dude.
Oh my
Yeah,
Wow.
it's
Did you hear about that a lot at the club?
yeah, no, it happens all the time. Like dudes just come in their
Like how many
pants,
days out of the
like,
week do you think it happens?
at least twice a day.
Oh, a day.
At least, like,
I was like,
that's
I was like,
a
twice-
dude
twice a
comes
week.
in and
Yeah.
comes in his pants at least twice a day.
Is there? This is probably a shitty question, but is there a lot of homeless people that come to the
No,
club?
because they
Okay,
know they can't
that's-
get anything. Because like if a girl knows, if
Yeah.
like a girl knows you don't have money, she's not gonna come
Yeah.
talk to you. Like
Right.
if you look like you're 18 and you're broke as fuck, we're not gonna come say hi to you unless you whip out some money. Like because if you're not waving
Interesting.
money at us and you look poor, we're not gonna come talk to you unless
Wow.
unless the club is slow. Because if the club,
Oh, so that's why people dress up. Stupid answer, but that's why people dress up before they go to the club.
yeah, because they want to look like they have money. Because
Yeah.
if they look like they have money, the girls will come talk to them and like be all flirtatious
Wow.
with them. Like
That's crazy.
like if you, yeah, 'cause if you look broke, we ain't fucking talking to you. 'Cause unless you pull out money, dudes that know they come in looking bummy will come out and put $20 on their table because
wow.
because like they're like, hey, I have money, come fucking dance for me. Like,
Wow.
yeah, 'cause they'll be like, I know I'm not dressed up.
Is there like a high amount of people that come in without money and they just see what they can get?
It's not like they come in without money per se, 'cause you have to pay to get into the club.
Right. Yeah.
But they come in with like $5 or $10, and that's like 2 songs, 1 song, and then like they just sit there for hours and they don't do anything, and they just watch the girls dance on other people or on the stage or whatever, because they paid an entry fee, so they can just sit there forever. And I'm like,
Crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
What a night.
yeah, 2 songs for
Or
me.
what a day.
Yeah, yeah.
Damn. All right. So next question. When do strippers usually stop stripping? Like, what are some reasons why they quit? I guess.
So you can quit because of like health issues. So I know like I don't dance anymore like because I had like a health issue. So it's like I can't do that sort of physical exertion anymore because it makes you sweat and it's like it gets your blood pumping, and I'm unable to do that now. But so it's like health issues. They want to get out of like that bad scene. Like if they're in it with like drug addicts or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
If they want to get out of that, they could leave. I think another reason girls leave is because they're done dancing. Like they want to move on with a career. If like because a lot of the girls that go like if they're dancing, they go to school. So I met like a bunch of nurses because a lot of nurses in school go to strip to pay for nursing school. I met a lot of like girls that were trying to be estheticians and cosmetologists, paying for that school, and like. And so if they make the money that they need to pay for the school, they'll stop dancing.
They're done.
Yeah.
That's cool. So if you weren't sick, do you think that would still be something that you did?
I think it could be like something I do on the side, like just on weekends or something, because I love to dance, and that was my biggest thing. Like I loved getting off on the stage and just feeling beautiful because my makeup and my hair was done, and like I just looked hot, you know. And again, it's that confidence thing. Like I'm in love with myself, so it's like I love being up on that stage and just feeling like everyone's attention is on me.
That's cool.
But that's kind of like that's why I would go back, is just for that feeling again. But
that's crazy. See, I'm glad that you came and talked about it, because it's something I never would have thought was the reason people did it.
I heard about like the school stuff. I didn't know how common it was.
Yeah, it's pretty
like
common.
really only hearing like
TV
a movie
shows
or something.
Yeah, it's like a what's the word, like a
stereotype.
Yeah, like a stereotype that like nursing students go to school.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. So have you ever ran into like former coworkers or bosses or exes at the club?
It's funny that you asked me that.
In public?
Yeah, so I actually
like all the time?
no, not all the time. It's very rare. Like I still talk to one girl that I dance with, and she's super sweet, and like we just talk over Snapchat sometimes. But she lives kind of far, so I don't really see her. Mm-hmm. But I did run into the girl who got choked out and passed out. Like she's working at like a Fry's now, and like
dude,
she's like cashier. She was my cashier, and I was like, huh? And I was like, hi,
We're
honey.
on the ground one time.
Yeah. And I was like, do you remember me? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, oh, hey. Like,
cool.
Yeah, she was like super nice. She's like, yeah, I still dance, but I'm like doing this cashier thing now. And I'm like, okay.
Crazy. Wow.
Yeah. It was interesting. I was like, it's funny that you're the girl that I run into out of like everyone that I dance with. Yeah.
Did you ever see anybody from like your life at the strip club?
No, I didn't see anyone because like I don't really have anyone that like I know. Like I would actually ask my friends to come in. I'd be like, hey,
really?
like come see me, come throw like $1 bills at me. Because like I was always trying to get like I'm not modest whatsoever. Like I'm always just like look at me and like. So I would just be like, come in, hype me up, be my hype people.
Get the ball rolling.
Get the ball rolling. And so I would always like put it on my my Instagram and stuff. Like I'd go live at the club, be like, put
the SpongeBob music on.
Yeah, like the pumped up jellyfish music. But
was there any like weird songs that get put on the?
So like we had like one DJ and he would play like weird emo rock music.
Oh really?
Yeah, during his shifts, like the club was usually like pop and like hip hop and like he would come in and just play like weird emo like
My Chemical Romance or something?
No, more like Green Day and like he would play like
so
and I was like, why are you playing this? Like and it was just awkward and we're like, Jeremy, like that was his name, we're like, turn this shit off.
Dude, that's
like,
hilarious.
He's like, it's my favorite, and I'm like,
then you get over here.
Yeah, like, then you dance to this. Like,
how much say do you guys get over the music that's being played?
Huh?
How much say, like, is there like a list, like a request thing?
It's like, they have a bunch of music that you can pick from. Typically, like, they'll tell you, like, you need to know how to dance to any type of music.
Oh, okay.
But if you're a good dancer and, like, they know you at the club and you've been there regularly and, like, you're, just always working there, like, they're pretty good about letting you pick your own songs and cool. Giving you some sort of freedom about what you dance to because they know that you bring in money because you're always there.
So they favor the money people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of favoritism in clubs. Like managerial people will favorite like the girls that bring in the most money for sure.
Is that always the better looking girls, or is it just people that work harder?
It's usually the better looking girls. Sometimes I went like their butter faces, like their faces aren't the best, but they have like really fat asses, and so they'll advertise their ass and be like, look at it. Like,
nothing else here.
Yeah, I'd be like, come check out her ass. Because that's what they're really there for, is ass and titties anyway. They're not looking at her face, so.
That's crazy. And then somebody was asking for any more funny stories. Do you have any other funny stories besides the BDSM girl?
Funny stories.
And the coming and the...
I'm trying to think of like...
Honestly, yeah.
So, I guess like... A lot of time, like, there's a rule that you can't walk outside the club with your ass showing because it's considered, like, you can get charged with prostitution.
Oh, shit.
So if you leave the club with your ass out, a cop can stop you and give you a prostitution charge for your ass being out.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so, like, a lot of the time, girls would wear, like, shawls that were just see-through. So they would go outside to smoke. Like, they could just smoke blunts, cigarettes, whatever they want, like, outside the club. Like, they were like, whatever.
Like in the back or, like, in the front?
No, in the front. Like,
oh, really?
Like, you walk up to the club, there's a bench, and you would just see girls that either smoking, like, a cigarette or a blunt just sitting on that bench while you're entering the club. And we're like, hey, like, what's up?
Be there in a minute.
Yeah, see you soon, honey. Like,
that's crazy.
But, and so there's like a lot of girls wore shawls or like something like clear to cover up while they went outside. And this one girl, she was actually the girl who had the pimp. Like she came out and we were going to the gas station. And I was like, put some pants on because we're going to the gas station. We're not just going outside. So she comes out. She's wearing a like one piece fit and it has her nipples covered and then a thong on the ass thing, but she has like that clear sheer black shawl thing around her waist, so you can still clearly see her ass and everything underneath, and just like her titties are all out, and just like, her nipples are covered, and that's it. So
it was kind of like the Borat thing. That's what I'm imagining with a shawl.
And we walk into a QT of all fucking gas stations. QT's like the nicest one, and that's the one we choose to go into. And I'm like, oh god, because I'm like I have some like I'm like oh my god. So we walk in, and the guy at QT just kind of like he looks again, and he's like, and his mouth is like oh my god.
Older dude or younger dude?
He was like there was a younger guy behind the counter, and then there was an older lady, and they both did the exact same thing. They're both like,
whoa, that's crazy.
And it was because of her, because she was just naked, and I'm like, oh my god. And so I'm like, all right, I gotta go. And I'm like walking out, trying to get away. Like I'm not associated with that one. Like, I don't know her. I'm sorry. Like I'm surprised the QT didn't like throw her out for being like a prostitute, bro.
Wow. Did you ever have any issues like dating while you were stripping, or?
No, because I mean I've had the same boyfriend the entire time. So I was with him when I started stripping, and I was with him when I ended stripping. Like whatever, he was with me throughout the whole thing. Yeah. He didn't care. He just was like, you know, you're my girlfriend at the end of the day. These dudes ain't shit. Like you're not going home with them. You don't have anything to do with them. So it's like why would I care? You're just dancing. You're making money. Like so. Do what makes you happy is what he said, and like
that's cool.
Yeah, he was a really big support system. Like he was always telling me like go to work, make fucking money, like, you know, get off your ass. That's and cool. So yeah, he was always pushing me to like just do my best and like do what I can.
Nice, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Somebody wants to know how much did you make on your like best night?
Best night, I think I made like $400 on my best night. Shit. Yeah, and that was just because I was working, like I was moving hard, like I was just hustling, like trying to fucking go. But I know girls that make more than that. Again, I was heavier at the time, so it was harder for me to like get these guys and make money because a lot of the guys wanted other girls. Yeah. So $400 from me was a lot, but I know girls that like on a good night make $900 to $1,000.
Jeez,
so so it's like $400 is like nothing to a lot of good dancers. Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Shit. How many hours would the strippers usually work a day, and then how many days a week?
So the ones that were like full-time dancers would be there from like the time the club opened at 11 a.m. to the time the club closed at like 2 a.m. And they would just work all day and just make money.
Every day.
And they usually wouldn't do it every day because they wouldn't have to, because they would make so much money in one full fucking shift that like they just wouldn't need to work every day.
Wow, that's insane.
So they could pretty much work like 3 days a week if they wanted to and still make like $3,000. Yeah.
Holy shit. That's insane. Yeah. And then how did your family and like the people around you respond to you dancing?
Well, my mom and my sister didn't care because like my mom knew my sister danced, and that's my sister danced. So I was like,
she got the better end of that.
Yeah. So she was like, you know, if you're being safe and doing what makes you happy, then mom's like, you know, she's like, whatever, just do your thing, just be safe, you know, don't get taken. I was like, okay.
You don't know Liam Neeson, so.
I told my brother-in-law, and he was not that happy, because my brother-in-law is kind of like my father figure, like he was like in my life the most, and so I told him, or he found out, so to say, because my mom has a big mouth, and so he's like, you know, like, I just don't want you getting caught up in anything. He wasn't very happy about it, but ultimately, it's like, he was like, you're gonna do what you're gonna do. So.
Yeah.
Do you have tissues by chance? My nose is like stuffed. Sorry, that's such a weird request. I'm like, you're like, I have
this love. We were eating chicken wings earlier, so I needed gloves.
Is that like an actual thing? Like that's why you needed the gloves?
It was their bit of the day.
Yeah, me and Amy we planned a bit for Colin that we were gonna order wings and then just put gloves on.
Okay, kind of to go off of your last one. what are your best tips for girls to stay safe at the club?
Ooh, yeah,
That's a good one. Yeah. Always. So like, if you are going to work, just tell someone, someone that knows who you very well, like you're close with. Tell them like, hey, I'm just letting you know I'm going to work for a little while. I'm going to be at the club. This is where I'm going to be.
Smart.
Planning to leave at this time, or whatever. Just so that way someone knows like that's where you were. Always check in with the club. So check in with a manager, tell a DJ, tell a bouncer, tell somebody that you're there. If you're working nights or even days and if you're feeling uncomfortable, you can ask the bouncers to walk you to their car. A lot of the time they won't just do it because it'll come off as like sexual harassment. So if you ask a bouncer, he will gladly walk you to your car to make sure no one like harasses you.
Oh, like if they walk you to your car on their own, it's considered sexual harassment?
Yeah, so like if I was just walking out of the club and he just started to walk next to me, it could be taken as like him being creepy. So like if I ask him like, hey, I'm not feeling comfortable, can you please walk me out? He'd be like, yes, I can. Like,
that's cool though.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Then like most clubs, even like shitty clubs, will do that. Like all the bouncers will be happy to walk you out.
That's nice.
Yeah,
that's really nice. And then do you tip them out extra for that or
no? The day shift, I didn't even want to tip out my bouncers because they didn't do fucking shit. They just sat around eating wings and drinking. I was like, okay.
What a job.
Yeah, so I was like, what are the hot ones?
What is this hot one?
Well, yeah, I was like,
whoa, I was going, came on, whoa! You guys see, I thought that was rain.
I thought it was real.
You see when I was dipping my wing?
But yeah, so
That's disgusting. Hilarious.
if I didn't have to tip them out, I wouldn't. Like if I could get away with not tipping them out, I just would not tip them because again, they didn't do anything.
But I mean, other clubs have better bouncers, right? Or
yeah. So again, like night bouncers are usually really good if you work night shifts. Like night bouncers will take care of you. Again, it's usually just day shift at that club. It was just like they did not care, and like they would come out and defend you to an extent. So it's like if a dude was getting like physically, they'd come out and be like, hey, stop that or we're gonna throw you out. And that's kind of the extent of what they did. But a night shift bouncer wouldn't even give them the fucking time of day. If a night shift bouncer saw you touching a dancer, they'd pull you up by your fucking collar and be like, get out, like you're not allowed. Yeah.
Nice.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Are they like huge?
Yeah, they're usually
boys?
all like huge guys. They like a lot of them or one of them at least that I knew was ex-military. Like a lot of them have like cop backgrounds. Like they're all retired cops, retired military, just big buff dudes. Like they have like your build and they're just like security like
Nice.
yeah.
Hey guys.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And then what would you recommend for girls to stay safe while they're dancing? Like you said, they would get cum on them and things like that. So what's your best tip on girls?
Do you have a good slap routine to
like other than like setting good boundaries and stuff, like what other things did girls do?
Again, with the hygiene bag, just making sure you have like hygiene products with you, so being able to clean yourself off right away afterwards, a change of clothes always. If you notice that a dude is like might be doing that, because you can kind of tell, because sometimes they'll be like they'll make weird moaning noises and like you can tell which ones are fucking trying to come on you.
He's gonna blow.
Yeah. You're like should be
Yeah.
But yeah, like you can kind of tell. And so if you notice that a dude's being kind of weird and he's like getting erect or like gonna come on you, just kind of be like, yo, I'm done. Like that's it. Like I quit. Like
So
because you can stop, because
hyper-vigilant.
like yeah, you have to be aware of what's going on around you. Like you have to be aware of the dude, because like again, dudes are sneaky. They're gonna try and pull every fucking thing that they can in that club. If they can get away with it, they will. If they can get away with touching you, if they can get away with like pulling their dick out, if they can get away with coming on you, if they can whatever it is, they're gonna try, unless you stop them. So just having a good firm like you need to fucking stop, like just
setting good boundaries, knowing when to set them, and walking away.
Yeah, and you can definitely walk away, even if it's in like the middle of the dance, at the beginning of a dance. You could have just started. If you feel uncomfortable in any way, you have that choice. You're in control. You can be like, I'm done dancing for you, and you can either charge him or not. You can be like, I danced for you and you made me uncomfortable. Now pay me extra. So like, if a dude comes on you, can be like, you owe me $25 fucking for coming on me just on the floor. And like, girls can do that. You can demand money for when guys get out of line. So it's like the dude that choked that girl, I think she got like $500 from him after he choked her.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's a good choke.
I was
Crazy.
like, $500 to pass out?
Yeah, shit.
Okay.
How long was she out for?
Like 5 minutes maybe? Like it was
Fuck, dude, that's crazy.
$100
Yeah.
a minute. That's pretty good.
Yeah, honestly.
No, like it was crazy.
Good math.
Yeah.
And then another one was, what do you recommend for like your mental sanity? Because I'm pretty sure getting all that creepy stuff done to you and whatnot could like affect
Bleed
you
into your
mentally.
life.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it definitely. So not everyone can dance. Let me tell you. Like not literally dance. I mean, not everyone can be a stripper. It takes a certain type of person to be able to go through that and then it like turn it off at the end of the day. So it's like you have to go to the club with one attitude. Like when I went to the club, I was not who I was. Like I wasn't Grace. I was Ivy, and I was a whole different bitch. Like I did not self-identify as me when I was there whatsoever. And then the minute I walked out those doors, I was Grace again, and I was no longer a stripper, and I was just me, and that was it. Like it's basically just having good being able to just flip that switch, being like, yes, this happened at the club today, but that's not what's going to happen to me at home. You know, it's like, and I had a boyfriend too, so it's like I would have that stuff happen to me at the club, but it's like you have to tell yourself, I know my boyfriend's not going to be disrespectful and awful like that, and I know that's not who he is, and he's not, and you see that, and so it's like it's like just something you have to keep telling yourself. Like you have to be like, I'm turning this off. This is not who I am when I'm not in this club. Like that's it. Whatever happens in the club stays in the club, and that's kind of like you have to be able to just brush things off, and you have to have like that strong will to be able to tell people no and to be comfortable just getting that like close to people, because you're literally grinding on dudes' dicks like all day. And
strangers
that's it.
too.
Yeah, strangers. You don't even know. And these dudes are telling you bullshit stories about who they are, and you have to act like you're interested. You have to be like, wow, that's so crazy. Like, that's so cool. Like,
Wow.
and you have to just act like you're with them. Like, it's all an act, because who I was in that club was not me. Like, I was completely different. It's just, it's a whole other face.
That's
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So the reason I asked that was because I had listened to a podcast where it was like people who don't like, there's people who will like come from work, from like office work and stuff like that, and they'll change.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like as like a wash type
Yeah.
of thing. There's people who will shower when they get home.
That's it, yeah.
And like
reset.
to reset. There's and in that
I gotta
podcast
start doing that. Hold on.
they had talked about like firemen who will not change their shoes.
Mhm.
They'll put like their shoes outside.
Mm-hmm.
And nurses do that shit too.
Yeah, and so like people have like a way of like kind of setting
Cleansing
that
themselves,
boundary
yeah.
and like cleansing themselves. So I was wondering like what you.
Yeah, me myself, I love essential oils, and so like whenever I would come home, I would literally just try and cleanse myself with a shower and some nice essential oils that bring like calming and peace to you.
Cool.
Just because I think that it takes your anxiety down, because you do have a lot of anxiety throughout the day. It's just like because not only are you dealing with customers, but you're dealing with the other girls as well. So the other girls are doing drugs, the other girls are drinking, and the other girls are, doing shit they're not supposed to. So you kind of have to watch out, not just for, the customers, but you're watching out for these girls, making sure they're not coming at you fucking weird, because they've been down in vodka cranberry since 11 a.m. And so, like,
are they allowed to drink on shift?
Yes. If
Like by law or like?
No.
So you gotta drink one vodka cranberry an hour.
How many? You haven't had any?
It always depends on the bartender.
Okay.
Some bartenders are really cool. The other ones won't serve you alcohol. You have to finesse your way with alcohol. A lot of time the girls are able to drink because the customers buy their alcohol. So even if the bartender that doesn't sell it to the girls is working, the girls will be like, have the customers go buy their drinks for them. Or the customers will even ask you when you sit down next to them, would you like a drink? And they'll order you a drink for you.
So if there's a girl and a guy at the bar, and then the girl asks the guy to order the drink, the bartender has to serve that for that guy?
She doesn't have to, but like she will. She'll serve that guy the drink because she knows that guy's gonna get a dance from this girl and make that club money.
Gotcha.
So it's all working for the club's money.
Self-revolving.
Yep.
Yeah. Wow.
Like, yeah, a lot, like these clubs, like they don't follow any regulations. Like they don't, It's crazy.
So,
like, yeah.
Sounds less than what I thought. I was like, there's probably a little leeway, but yeah, that's crazy.
And then I had another question that cover your ears, Colin. That I don't know if it's TMI. You totally don't have to answer if you don't want to. But how did girls dance when they were on their periods?
So you wear a tampon and you cut the string so short that it does not pop out of your thong. And you dance and hope that you don't get blood on things. That's kind of, it's like, you're playing like Russian roulette that you're not going to get blood on the next dude that you dance on.
It's like super bad when that girl.
Yeah, when she's like grinding on him and there's like that huge blood stain. That's what it was. And I remember a girl telling me a story because when this girl was telling me that when she first started dancing, she was dancing on her period and a guy was wearing white basketball shorts. And she just straight got blood all over his crotch, and she saw it and he didn't see it, and she left and put on a wig and changed before he noticed, like, so he couldn't like come for her. Oh, Tyler's
or on her. Oh,
should I was like, should I? Okay, I was like, hello.
So pretend like
first
we're
phone
busy.
call on the podcast.
Hey, I'm doing this podcast right now.
Hi, Tyler.
Hi, Tyler.
Hi, Tyler.
Shout out to people like that. I'm sorry.
No,
What?
he says shout out 2 guys, 1 guest.
Oh, thank you.
Hi, buddy.
Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Very rude.
Going around activity.
Oh yeah, like there's blood all over his crotch. And
That's
she
crazy.
put a wig on. That's what got me. Like she had a wig on deck and just went and like changed her outfit.
Were you there for that, or you just heard the story?
I heard the story and like that. I was still there.
Like, did you hear if the guy reacted or anything?
I don't remember. Like she probably told me and I don't remember, but I just
need to
remember
know.
that.
Just make it up.
Your stripper let him.
Started freaking out, foaming at the mouth. It was crazy.
Well, see, the thing is, he had another pair of pants that he just flipped.
Yeah, he just had another pair of basketball
He had a
shorts.
wig.
Anyway.
Yeah, they weren't white.
These
yeah.
guys wear like basketball shorts and then they.
Is that a bad sign when you see people in basketball shorts?
Yeah, because it always means they're gonna come in their pants, bro. Like almost always, like because guys wear jeans to strip
Oh my
clubs.
God.
Like that's it. Like
Oh my god,
Yeah.
that is hilarious.
it's
I
so
crazy.
random.
If I ever like pass by one, I'd be like, nice basketball shorts.
Nice basketball shorts.
Wait,
I
you
know
go
what
to
you
strip club
did.
later? Or?
They go to.
I'll
They
tell
like.
you right now, you guys. I'm fucking ready right now.
But like if they got cum on them, it's just like the dudes would like come in their pants and then go to the bathroom and try and like scrub the cum out of their basketball shorts, I guess, and like come back out
It's a
and
bigger
do it
wet
again.
stain.
Yeah, like
It's so fucking weird.
They're like, I
Very
just
weird.
pissed myself.
yeah,
No,
like,
keep
it's
saying-
just me,
Yeah. Keep dancing.
not cum. You
Just put
can
in the
still
drinks.
dance.
Yeah. Was there water in these drinks?
Do girls charge more for guys who have cum on their pants? Because I feel like that's
Like previously?
Yeah, like oh, you have cum on
He's
your
an
pants.
offender.
He's an offender. They
It's
can.
$10 more.
Again, it's all
Cum
up
tax.
to you, honestly.
tax.
It's like it's all up to you because if you know like that's a regular and he's gonna dance with you regardless, you can be like, pay me fucking extra since you already came on another bitch, and that's what.
Damn.
And then he'll give you extra money because.
Well, you
of
know,
that.
you got a point there. Gotta give it to you.
Yeah, like you can just take charge. Like again, that's your domain, not theirs. Like so, you just take charge. You take those boundaries and you make them, and you like pay me more for
Yeah.
that.
That's cool. That's nice to know that it's thought of as like, you know, your dojo, so to speak. You know,
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's like your own, like, it's like your place. Like, you're just like, I'm here to shake my ass and get my money. Like,
Yeah. I mean, that's what it is.
Yeah.
They're coming into your space. That's cool.
That's it.
Crazy.
Had you ever been to a strip club before you started dancing?
yeah, I went to, I'd only went once, and it was to Centerfold, and that was the only strip club I've ever been to, but I had a really good conversation with the dancer that I had met there, and so I actually, like, was like, okay, that doesn't seem too bad, so that's kind of what I was, like, pushed me
Give it a
to,
shot, yeah.
yeah.
That's crazy.
Was she okay to talk to you? She was fine with
Yeah,
you?
she was actually really nice. She told me like her actual job and like who she actually was. Like she told me her real identity, and I was like, that's pretty cool. I've never, even when I was a dancer, I wouldn't tell females my other identity because I didn't want anyone fucking coming for me.
It's like superheroes.
Yeah, it's like doctor by day,
It's
stripper by
Clark.
night.
Yeah. But I'm paying for the doctor by,
Yeah, paying for it all, gosh. But yeah, no, it's like she was telling me that she worked at the airport, like on the side, and that she had a kid, and her kid was taken care of by the money she made from stripping, and like that's how she paid for like a really nice daycare and like all this stuff. And I was like, that's nice, like because she was because I think she was going to school for something during the day, so she had to have her baby in daycare.
Damn, that's crazy. Dude.
Childcare is crazy expensive.
Yes.
Wouldn't it?
Whew.
But I bet. Well, Shay, man, thank you for coming through and talking to us.
Yeah.
Next episode, we review clubs. No, just
Go to my clubs that I worked at. Like, so you can see how shitty they were. Like,
We're gonna have the basketball shorts. We're gonna have a little in the podcast. We're gonna have a little basketball shorts counter.
and it's like,
That's hilarious.
yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks for coming to us.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, it was a good time. I had fun talking about it. Honestly, I like putting my 2 cents in. I guess because there's a big taboo over stripping, and there's a big stigma that it's girls that don't have confidence or they have daddy issues or whatever it may be. And it's like I literally am the most confident person again that I know. Like you can ask anyone and I'll be like, I'm a hot bitch. I don't care what you say.
That's cool.
So it's a good time. Like I think if any girl wants to gain confidence, that stripping is a good way to do it. As long as you don't get sucked into all the negatives that stripping has,
Yeah.
So
that's cool. That's good to hear.
Yeah.
You definitely, as a guy, you don't really know anything about it, because you don't even have girls to talk to about that kind of stuff. So.
Yeah, and it's people are always so hesitant to ask because I'll openly tell people I used to be a stripper because I don't care I used to do it. The past is the past. I don't do it anymore. But and it's I always love to share my stories and this because they're funny and I don't want to keep that to myself.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
sharing is caring.
Yeah.
True. Yeah. So.
Also, you wouldn't be embarrassed to say what your past job was.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
So why
was,
would you be
Yeah. Because that's what it is. It's
about
a past job. And I usually just say I used to dance. That's usually how I phrase it. Because whenever you say the word strip, people take that a lot harsher for some reason than dancing. Because both times everyone knows what I mean. Everyone knows that dancing is stripping and stripping is stripping. And so but for some reason I get worse reactions when I say stripping than I do when I'm oh, I'm a dancer. I usually get positive reactions. So
Crazy.
Buzzwords.
Yeah.
It's trigger words for people. They're you're a stripper. I
was warned about this.
You heathen.
The elders told me this would happen. Yeah, but no, I think I'm glad you came out and talked to us because it was very fun. But also, I think enough people don't know about the background.
I agree.
That kind of stuff.
It's also good for girls to know,
and
also guys to know, so that they know what the girls are going through.
You always respect the ladies in that fucking club. Always make sure that you're keeping your manners. You're doesn't matter if she's ghetto, don't match her ghetto. Just be polite. That's all we're needing. Because we're gonna act out and give you that positive energy and that hype energy because that's what we're here to do. Don't give it back because it's gonna come off weird and it's gonna come off wrong.
Oh, wow.
Just
that's interesting.
Just chill, hype us up, be yes, mommy, don't touch us, fucking, but
strange choice of words, but okay.
Yeah. I don't know, man. That's just what
I mean, coming from guys that come on girls, I don't think.
So
crazy. Don't do that.
Don't
do that shit.
Yeah, don't come on girls. Just pay us our money. Yeah, don't choke us.
Unless you got 500 at least.
Yeah, you need at least 500 to make a stripper pass out, okay?
If it's agreed upon.
Have the stopwatch.
It has to be previously agreed upon with the stripper.
That's insane. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, dude.
Yes.
See you guys next week.
Bye.
How are my knees?
How are they? That's crazy.
They were.
I heard how it means.
No, I said ha, ha, and then ow.